Joined now here with MSNBC contributor Naveed Jamali. He worked as a double agent for the FBI against Russian military intelligence. I don't know if you've had a chance to be listening in to the Assange press conference here, but I want to get your take on what Betsy characterized as kind of a victory lap now for WikiLeaks after this document dump, potentially one of the worst breaches of classified information in history.
I don't know if you can hear that over the IFB, but that's the sound of the largest and loudest eye roll I can make, one that President Obama would be proud of. Look, Julian Assange is awful. And just to kind of boil this down, why this matters, look, these tools are so that we don't have to put boots on the ground. When you saw what happened in Yemen, the White House said, we conducted that raid to collect intelligence. These tools are so that you don't have to send Navy SEALs into Yemen. And when you compromise those tools, look, Russia is one thing, but ISIS and Al-Qaeda are certainly going to read this. And when you compromise those capabilities, you now can't use them. And instead, you might have to do things like send actual people into bad places. So this actually has a real impact in our capability, and it's a very dangerous one.
And so what are the implications going to be for the White House? Put on your political hat, if you will. How do you think that the president will react? So far, we have seen the White House simply say that they cannot authenticate this, condemning any disclosures that put Americans at risk.
You know, I would say, look, it's one thing to say, I personally believe that WikiLeaks is nothing more than a laundromat for Russia, and it's clearly an extension of Russian propaganda. Perhaps it's more difficult to draw a solid line between Russia and WikiLeaks, but what you can say is WikiLeaks as a standalone should not be allowed to have journalistic coverage, in the protection, I should say. One of the big things when you talk to investigators or law enforcement, they're very reluctant to do anything with Julian Assange because he falls under sort of journalistic protection. And I think at this point we have to take a look at this and say that shouldn't be that shouldn't be extended to him. The White House has the opportunity here to put WikiLeaks on some sort of watch list that would defund them essentially. So there's things that they can do here, and staying silent shouldn't be one of them.
Thanks. I want to go to Hans Nichols over at the Pentagon, who has been listening in.